Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope that everyone had a wonderful day. I had such a good weekend. Such a good weekend. Got a clean house. Spent time with my mom because she was sick the past weekend. Didn't get a chance to spend time with her. And then I cooked a Pinterest meal. That's what I call them when I find recipes. So if I got a little, yeah, I went ahead and ate that before I got on. But I just got a few things to talk about that's really just been burning my chest. So I'm gonna get into that. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna close my door. All right, I'm here. Had to give my mom kisses, kisses and hugs. All right. So for anyone who is new to the channel, welcome. My name is Burjo, also known as B. Elise, and I am the owner of B. Elise Notary Services, as well as the founder and president of the Notary Education Group, which is the channel you're watching. Every Sunday I come live um, now at 7:30 because of the time change, p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk to you guys about notary and business related topics, share some tips, and answer your questions in real time. Hey, Swanis. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in today. So today we're going to be talking about notary reality check because, baby, y'all be so negatively hype in these Facebook groups. It is really, really sad, actually. So let's get into that. So, my friend, the crafty notary, she was having a discussion with a fellow notary. Hey, Michael. Good evening. On a Facebook group. Now she tries not to comment in the Facebook groups, but sometimes you see some stuff and you just get the itch, and that's what happened. So the notary was complaining once again about low fees, low ball fees. It's almost comical at this point how many notaries complain about the fees because it's either you're going to do the work, ask for more money and get it, or don't get it, or just don't do the work at all. I mean, if the fees are such a deal breaker for you, just don't do it. Do not be a notary, do something else because the complaining is mad unprofessional. And I've told you guys several times, professionals want to work with professionals. You banding together thinking that it's going to make them pay you more money, that's not going to work. It's just not. Because what's going to happen is, and I'm not sure if you guys know, they'll just start having their title people notarize the documents. They really do this because they don't want to um, have people in the office back to back doing closings like they used to do. They really would prefer to give that task to us independent contractors. Okay, so independent contractor means that you carry the responsibility of your own expenses when you are providing services for hiring parties. Let it be the title company directly, a signing service, or whatever. And yes, you are going to have cost of expenses. The wonderful thing about being a notary is that we are not subject to pay taxes on notary work. And so that's the general. So if you did 6 stamps, this is why I told you guys to keep track of your stamps, because I literally just filed my taxes and I found out this information from my tax professional, which I was in such fear before, and now I'm at ease. This is why you have to pay others to know what is what instead of relying on these stupid Facebook groups full of naysayers. Okay. Anyway, the person was complaining about the low fees. And so my friend, she was just like, if so many of you notaries didn't have this mindset, you would be making money. And so the person countered and said, well, if everybody has the mindset you have, we're never going to make money. No, that's not true, because how many, I'll ask you guys, and I really want you to be honest with me. How many notaries who are out here making money, making life-changing money, 6 figures or more, have you seen any of them complain? And I'll tell you one more thing. Not all of the high earning notaries have signing services. I don't have a signing service. And I'm almost going to hit the 100,000 mark. I don't have a signing service. I don't hire other notaries to do work. I do pay other notaries to be a witness when I need one. We're not complaining about the fees. The fees are not that low that I'm not making money. And my expenses for the year are not even 30,000. So when I hear people complain, I'm just like, you clearly are not actually running your notary business as a serious source of income, which is fine. I throw no shade to that, because remember, that's how I started out. I worked a W-2 job, and then I had my notary business that was part-time or like a little less than part-time, depending on how busy my work was during the month. And I still made money. I think I made the first part-time year that I officially did part-time, and I was dog tired, but I made almost 30,000. I think I made 26 or 27. So I almost made 30,000 operating my business part-time. And you know how much I made on my job? 44. Full-time. That's full-time. That was a wake-up call to me. I was like, so if I did this full-time, I would double what I've made at work. So at what point are we going to shift the conversation from the low fees to us actually having better business practices, being more professional, actually learning how to run a business so you can be successful? The same person she was arguing with said, well, thank God I have a successful career in another successful business. So my friend, because she's really hilarious, she did a little digging, because when you post in these groups, if you're not anonymous, people can look at your profile, people can see your other posts that you've posted. So this same person posted other posts in the group just days before, asking several questions about how to do notary work, and then shared a post saying, this would be my first signing. What do you think I should do, or something? And I'm like, so you're complaining about low fees and you haven't done your first signing yet? That solidified what I've been saying all this time. You have so many people complaining about fees who have not done their first notary appointment. That's how I know it's a bandwagon out there that everybody's just jumping on. And low fees seems to be the popular opinion truck that everybody wants to jump on. And this is sad. This is mad sad. You cannot have that type of mindset coming into something that you've never done before. They were even asking questions about, what do I need to do to make my Google business page be active, because I I guess they suspended it or something like that. But you just said in your post that you have a successful business. So if you have another successful business, then you should already know the ins and out about Google. Before I became a notary, I had a business. I was a travel agent. I made good money as a travel agent, as a matter of fact. I got out of the business during COVID. So everything that I did having my successful travel agency, I copied it into my notary business. And that's why I'm successful in my notary business. That's why I know a lot of things because I did trial and error when I had my travel business. So if you have a successful business, then why are you having such a difficult time transitioning or not transitioning, adding on this business to your already successful business and your successful career? People just like to talk. And what happens is they end up embarrassing themselves totally. And then sometimes they don't even feel embarrassed because they honestly believe this crap that they are saying. And you have professionals like myself, we see it and we just keep scrolling. My friend, she does that sometimes, but every once in a while she feels the need to say something. But I'm like, girl, stop. She like, sometimes I can't. But she then told the person, if you want to talk, I would like to help you out. You know, and the person said, no, thank you. You basically are not the person that I want to talk to with that mindset about, fees. And I'm like, child, do you realize that those of us, I shared a meme that I saw on Facebook and it was hilarious. So, and I think Notary BFF shared it. So if you guys want to go check out their page, it's a meme of two guys playing pool. And then the caption was the one notary who's making all the money taking the low fees, and then the other notary is the notary that's waiting for the highest fee to come, right? So the person who's taking all the low fees and making the money, they're getting all the balls in, getting all the balls, taking the balls, and then the other person standing behind them waiting their turn, and before you know it, there's no more balls left on the table. And that is real life. That is real life. If you are going to sit and wait to get a $250 job, you are going to be waiting for a very long time. And I don't know about y'all, but I got kids, I got bills to pay. So I'll tell you, for example, Friday. Now, remember, I've told all you guys $400 per day. That's my goal. I end up making $380 Friday. And I was big mad. I was trying my best to get to that 400. All I needed was one general notary and I would have made it. So I would have took a signing for $20, $25 just so I can get to my $400 goal. Now, if I would have told somebody else that, they would have clowned me and slammed me in a Facebook group. It's notaries like you who, no, it's notaries like you who make it bad for us notaries, because whenever I do networking and I meet people, they never have anything good to say about a notary that they've worked with or met. So if anybody is the reason for us not getting work or getting paid too little, it is the notaries who are not showing up professionally. You guys are the ones. Because if there was more notaries like myself and other notaries who are actually doing good, like Donna and Stephanie, if there were more of us, they will be paying top dollar to all the notaries. It's like y'all warped thinking you got to get on the right wagon. If you want to join a bandwagon, get on the wagon of us pushing notaries to be more professional, showing up and doing a good job, not wasting people's time and costing them more money to fix what you did. So now they got to pay you, and now they got to pay me, because last week I had 2 signings I had to go and do after another notary. Like, come on. And they still pay me my fee. And not because I asked, but because they've worked with me before and they know what my fees are and they are okay with paying me that fee because they know that I'm going to show up, I'm going to do the job the right way, and I'm going to be professional. I literally am their walking, you know what I'm saying, their walking secret ingredient to success, pretty much. You know how many times I've had people call me and say, you know what, I had to call you to ask if you would do this. I had another notary scheduled to do it, but I went ahead and was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut my losses and just go ahead and call Bergeau because I know that all I got to do is give you the information and you're going to get it done. You're not going to call me. You're not going to have no hesitation. My customers are going to feel comfortable and confident, and we're going to get the paperwork and we'll be able to go on with our day. They literally told me that last week. I appreciate the recognition, but it also burns my bottom when I see people complaining in these Facebook groups. I'm like, guys, you are making us look bad. You are the reason why they don't want to pay, more than what they're paying. And then you got to also understand is sometimes they're trying to save their people money because they may not have it. You know what I mean? So they're like, okay, we'll find the notary who will take this fee because we know that you coming out of a lot of money, and y'all don't even think about that. Y'all like, well, we showing up to do a job. Yes, you are. But just because they paid you that fee that one time doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. Sometimes it is a matter of them just trying to work with the customer to get the business. Because I've done that before. And then my next signing, I just have my regular fee all over again. It's all about you just being accommodating. Like, where did we get away from that? Being accommodating, being professional, being a person of integrity. You know how many times I've done signings for no money? None. And I didn't lose no sleep on it. And I still paid my bills. You complain about the low fees all the time. I traveled 5 times this year with my family. Well, 4. One was with my girlfriend and I haven't seen her in a few years. Your so-called low fees afforded me the opportunity to travel with my family. Yes, I'll take the $35. I'll take the 40. I'll take the 50. I've taken the 25. I've taken the 10. Oh, well, if you got them coming to your office, then you're not going to make no money because you're not charging for travel. So what? It's a convenience. It is a convenience. And it is an honor for me to serve my community. It is a complete honor. I take so much pride in being the preferred notary in my community. I love being the preferred notary moving further out too. But in my community, I had a general notary I did around the corner from my house. And the lady was just like, do you do this full time? I said, yes, I do. She said, I can tell because the way you showed up, you arrived on time. You checked in with me to make sure that I was still going to be ready and prepared. She was like, I Googled notary and you popped up first. Yes, I do pop up first in my area because I always answer the phone. And if I can't get the call, I'll either text you and tell you I'm busy or I will call you right back. Because my business is important. My community is important. I just wish that it was more notaries out there who cared about being professional and running a business than they did about just getting a little extra money. And then those of you who are complaining, you want to make extra money. You don't even know how much extra money you want to make. You have no goals. All you know is I just need to make some extra money. Well, how much more extra do you need to make? Well, just a little something. How much is a little something? Well, just something extra spending. What does the extra spend? Like, you need to say a dollar amount. Okay. Because when you know the dollar amount, then you know what signings you need to take to be able to make that. When I worked full time, I had a goal. I wanted to make $100 a day because I knew I could only take one appointment a day working a full-time job. You know what I mean? I can't be off the radar that long, and I end up losing my job. I ended up changing departments. Then I was like, okay, I could do it like like 2 appointments a day. So then my goal went from 100 to 200. I had a number, I had a ballpark figure in mind. But then you got these notaries out here complaining about fees. Those notaries who just won, is it Notary Public, some influencer or something like that? I have yet to see any of them complain about the fees on any of their platforms. You want to know why? Because they're the same people who are just like me, just like Stephanie, just like Donna. We're doing this with a goal in mind. We're goal driven, we're family driven, we're lifestyle driven. I have a lifestyle that I aim to support. I have a family. Okay, let me stop because I see a lot of comments here. Hold on. All right, Michael. Stephanie says, I am on track to making $28,000 in my business this year. My take-home pay for my full-time job is $47,000. Now, if she in this year, that's this year, 28. Now, let's just say she went full-time next year. She would be able to double that, and she would still make more than what she's making at her job, sitting at home 8 hours a day for them. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, Swan, it is a great job, Stephanie. Absolutely. Michael said, keep making that money. Thank you, Swanas. I am very proud of myself because I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen at all. Donna said, I am making double my W-2 job. That is why I retired and did notary full time. Good job, Donna. And I knew you would because Donna is professional. She is knowledgeable and resourceful. Donna has all that. People want to work with people like her. Okay? If she wasn't in Montana, honey, I'd be working with Donna. Okay? Because me and Donna will make some money. Okay? Sawana says you have to treat it as a business in order for it to pay you as a business. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. I so don't like the complaints. I take any and all jobs, no matter pay. Exactly. I no longer look at that because let me tell you, I had the lowest month. I ended up making 6,000. I think it was 6,000. That was my lowest month. And I was pissed. My husband was like, what? I was like, see, you don't understand. I have a number. I make 7 to 8 every month. So me making 6 is messed up. And that's because I was trying to get everything that was at minimum $100. I would counter, they wouldn't take it. And I felt that. So I'm like, no, I'm going to go back to what I used to do. And I'll only counter if I know I'm going to be driving a little further, if I know it's going to take me more time to complete the signing. That's about it. Time. If it's going to take more time, if it's going to be further than what I want to drive, it's got to be worth it. And they know it. So when I do counter and I give them the reason, They have been honoring it. And if it's a certain amount based off of what I already did for the day, I'll take it because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take that because then it's gonna get me closer to the yeah. It's not freaking rocket science. You gotta do a little math. If you don't like math, then yeah, I can't tell you. I I am so proud of Stephanie and Donna. So proud of you guys. See, Donna, she did one for 50 today. I did one for 25. I forgot that I'm only open Monday through Friday now because on the weekends I spend time with my family. But I forgot that I do have Sunday marked open for online only. So when I saw the appointment come through yesterday on my email, I'm like 16th. It's not a Sunday. I'm like, oh, and I started to cancel it, but I was like, no, I can't because they emailed me using my contact form on my website, explained the situation to me. They said they had a document that needed to be notarized. The person was a U.S. citizen, but they had not lived in the U.S. since they were a child. And so they couldn't pass the KBA and they wanted to know if I could help. I said, yes, I can, because since I'm a Florida notary, I could bypass the KBA. We could do ID only. And I was able to get that done for them. And that was it, So I wanted to be able to help them instead of me saying, well, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that I'm not open on Sunday. No, I wasn't doing nothing. I was home. So I did that for them because they needed this document done before December something. So why not get it done now? Quick $25, and I went on with the rest of my day. Okay. All right. Let me go back to the comments. You do what you got to do to get to your goal. If it takes 10 jobs. Thank you, Swana. See? That's why I talk to y'all, because y'all understand. Okay. Y'all got the right mindset. You are very welcome, Donna. Every little bit adds up. Like I said, I did 380 on Friday. I was big mad that I could not get that extra $20. That's all I needed was an extra $20. That's all I needed. And I would have been happy, super happy. And I didn't. But you know what? I made 25 today, so that I could put that towards the Friday. So I did get before I go. Yay! Because I'm not open on Sundays typically. Exactly, Swanis. You have to be specific. Because if you're not specific, then what are you working for? What are you working towards? You're just working. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not addicted to working. I like making money, but the less work I gotta do, the better. So I'm not gonna just be working just to make extra money. Because extra money, that could be $1. That could be a penny. That could be some change. What are you working for? Put an amount with it. And if it's not an amount, put another goal. Maybe you want to do notary because you're trying to get new furniture. You want to get some new appliances. You want to buy a house. You want to get a new car. You want to pay for your child to go on this trip because they're part of this program and you need this extra money. Like, put a goal to it. What are you working for? What are you working towards? I knew that this year, last year, I promised my family that we would travel this year. One trip turned into 4 trips with my family and one with my girlfriend. And the one with my girlfriend was not planned. She called me like a month before, like, I want to go to Belize for my birthday and I want you to come with me. I'm like, what? And she like, well, I'm going to pay for the room and everything because she rented a house. It was a home that she rented for there. And it was going to be for, did we stay 5 days? It was 5 days. She was like, all you got to do is get your plane ticket. And then I had to pay because if you've ever been to Belize and you didn't go on a cruise, there's a lot included in getting there. Okay. You're flying to Belize City. Then you either take a boat or another plane from Belize City to the island that you're going to be on. We ended up being on Key Calker. So we decided we wanted to take the boat, which was a terrible idea. Then when we got there, because Key Calker has a split and the house she rented was on the other side of the island and not this side, we had to take another boat. It was a full freaking day trip. But do you know if I was still working my W-2 job, there's no way they would have approved me to travel that much in a year, especially last minute. Let me had told them I had just got back from visiting home. I just got back from visiting home in June. And then, I'm sorry, July. We were there for the 4th. And then turned around and my friend, her birthday was 7/11. So I got back from Michigan and then went right back on another trip. My job would have been like, no, you just got back. You're going to have to sit on down somewhere. And even with me taking all that time off, I still reached my goal for the month. I only had a low month when I was focusing on the fees. This is why I'm telling you, the fees sometimes can play a part in whether or not you're going to do it. And I'm not going to complain about it. It's just a job that I'm not going to accept. They'll find somebody else. I don't get all up in arms about it. But if it meets the time and the distance that I have and want to take, I'm taking a job. Yeah, in real life, you don't just wait around for opportunities. You grab them. You see the opportunity and you go for it. Okay? Being a self-employed person, that's just how it works. Okay? I'm not going to sit around and wait for a $250 job. I'm not going to sit around and wait for a $100 job. I have taken more jobs that are under $100 than I've taken those over $100. And for me to almost get to where I'm at, I am going to get very close to 100. I may not make it to 100, but I'm getting very close because I am almost at 80 right now. I'm at 77.5, I think. And even with my expenses being, I think my expenses is 26 something. So even if you subtract the 77 from the 26, that's still, excuse me, more than what I was bringing home. Do you hear? Do you do the math? I am very satisfied with my choice. In December, I would have made 2 years being self-employed as a full-time notary public. And I am so excited about it. And I'm so grateful. And I just wish that I could just touch all of you and let you know, stop solely focusing on the fees. Take the jobs. Because what's going to happen is when you do start doing the jobs and you do ask for extra, you will be more likely to get it because they have worked with you. But if you are like that one notary, you haven't had a signing yet, and you're already complaining about the low fees, you are putting yourself in a bad position, a very bad position. Because, like I said, the people who want to work with you or need to work with you are in the Facebook groups. And you're making it super easy for them to weed you out. I've even seen a notary say, well, if they're in the group just looking for us to say something bad and voice our opinion, then we don't work with them anyway. No, I would do the same thing. I don't want to work with a bunch of crybabies. And you're an adult. That is the worst type of person to work with, is an adult crybaby. I'm doing all the legwork to get clients who would love to work with me as long as I can provide them work. And you complaining? You know how hard I had to work to get this connection? And you complaining about not getting the whole fee? If they're paying me $250, okay, I got to pay you. I got to pay my scheduler. I got to pay the platform that I'm using to find you. So that's my money is being split 4 ways. Like, I don't know why y'all, and I do know why actually, because some of you guys do not have any type of business sense because you've never had one before. So you're not going to think like that. But what you need to know is that that $250 has to be split 4 ways. And I want to try my best to at least get 75, maybe 50 of it. And God forbid if I got to provide a witness, and I've already told them it's a flat rate of $250. Now I gotta split it 5 ways because now I have to give extra for a witness. So just think about it. Like the number that y'all see on the settlement statement, that's not all going to the person that's hiring. They gotta pay everybody else out of that, and then themselves. Okay, because the mobile notary fee doesn't just go to the notary. They're just not going to itemize it and say notary, scheduler, platform. They're not going to itemize that. It's just one notary fee. And that's it. So stop thinking like, oh, they getting half. They only paying me 75. Okay. And then another thing I learned from the attorney, they had a fee on there for $350, but it was multiple people signing. So they had the one notary fee. They were paying me and another notary for the other party. So the whole 300, it wasn't for my job. It was for me and for the other person. And their paralegal don't take no part. So I got 150 and the other person got 150. And that's real talk. That is the notary real world. So while you sitting at home, oh, she telling us to take low fees. She the reason why we all gonna lose business. No, you're the reason why you're gonna lose the business. I'm doing just fine. So I want you guys to, those of you who really want to make money, okay, follow me, follow the girls that won the Notary Influencer Awards, follow the other people that we know. They're not complaining. You want to follow those of us who are making the money, because I would think you got into Notary because you want to make money, right? So the right people to follow are those of us who are actually being successful and making the money. We are the ones you want to follow because we are the ones who are going to help you get to where we are and better. I even had to stop being in Notary Stars group because those people are, I'm like, what the heck? Like, I thought that would be different. Even my own loan signing system group, they be in there. You know, it is becoming more of a headache than it is a benefit. And I don't see a lot of that noise in my group, and I'm happy about that. But I do have me and other people monitoring. And I try my best to delete those posts. And yes, I know people are subject to their own opinion, but I just don't want that in my group. I don't. Take that low fee talk to another group who cares, because I don't. I only want to hear about events and opportunities that can help my notaries, not dishearten them and make them think twice about being a notary. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to build y'all up. I want y'all to be successful. There's enough out here for all of us to be successful. And if anything, the more successful, the more professional notaries we get, maybe we will get an uptick in money. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we got y'all complaining, they're not going to think twice about it. They'll continue to pay their preferred notaries top dollar. And the new people, they're going to just take a chance and pay you something that they can afford to lose. Some of y'all will prove yourself and get moved to the preferred list where they will pay you what you want. And the lady even continued to say, I know my worth. Sweetheart, what is your worth? You said that you ain't did a signing yet. What exactly is your worth? What does that look like exactly? Because that's why I hate that saying. I had to tell my daughter, I said, when you do my marketing post, please don't talk about fees and talk about people knowing their worth, because then it's going to show that I'm a hypocrite, So, and Chat GPT, it helps her put together the posts, and she still has to go through them and read them to make sure that it's not talking about something I don't want to talk about, or it's not wrong, because sometimes she has to fact check some of the fun facts, because I remember I caught a fun fact she posted before and I was like, oh baby, that's not true, delete it. And she was like, oh okay. I said, you have to fact check because ChatGPT is not always correct. So you got to fact check some of that stuff. You got to read the post. And I don't want you posting about fees. I don't want you posting about, I know my worth. Notaries know your worth, because then it's going to show that I'm on that silly bandwagon, and I'm not. I'm just not. All right. So that's all I had today, guys. I wanted to do that real talk with you, tell you about the real world, because what they're talking about in these Facebook groups, that is not real life. That is not what we really are dealing with out here in the real world. None of us are making $100 and more for every appointment. Not every appointment. Some of us even do appointments for free. And there is nothing wrong with that. Okay. So I hope that you guys take from this that you need to be focused on your own goals. Don't feed into what other people's goals are, especially when they probably don't even have one. Okay. Make goals for yourself. Make sure that if you are doing this as a side hustle, keep in mind why. Like, why do you need this side hustle? Is it because you're trying to achieve something? You're trying to attain something? Make sure you put a figure or you put something to that goal, but please have a goal. Because if you don't have a goal, then you're just going to be out here like the other people. And it's not a good look. All right. Anybody have any questions for me before I sign off? And Stephanie and Donna, thank you guys so much for sharing your progress. When I tell you guys, I am so super proud of you. I'm so proud of where you come from, of where you're going. Thank you for being a part of my journey as well, because I met you guys when I first started, and I was not even halfway where I am right now. So I just thank you ladies so much. And I'm so happy to have met you guys. And even if I'm just a small part of what you have learned or what you are doing, I appreciate you for listening and following me. And I am looking forward to the new year for all of us. All right. You are very welcome, Stephanie. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful week ahead. I know the holiday is coming up, so we're all getting prepared for that. It's the 16th today, right? So the holiday is next week. So you guys have a wonderful week. Entrepreneurs Day is Tuesday, so don't forget to share and support other entrepreneurs just like me and you. You guys have a good night. All right. Bye.